right.
Question? How did you think the offense performed today?
I thought it was good. A lot of energy today, a lot of back and forth. I thought it was a really good competitive day from both in all three phases.
How would you sum up Dalvin's visit here yesterday now that he's gone?
I thought it was good. He's a very good young man. He has a plan. He knows exactly what he wants, and it was just a really good discussion.
Did he give you guys any indication? Is he taking other visits or deciding?
Didn't ask that. It's just for me. He do whatever you need to do to make the best decision for you and your family, and so I'm not pushing, not pressing. I think it's an important decision for him, and a decision that I know he's taking very seriously.
Robert, what's the importance of having, for Aaron and in the locker room, to have guys like Randall and Allen, his guys from Green Bay here? Can you talk about
the familiarity of it all? It's no different. I tried to express it a little bit in OTAs. Like a coach, sometimes we bring in guys who we're familiar with to help. Like, hey, they know our messaging, they know our scheme, they can at least help. And no different for a player, no different for a quarterback, I'd imagine. And so I think it's good for him. I don't speak for him, but I would imagine, speaking from my shoes as a coach and what we look for, I would imagine it helps a lot.
Is there some element to, when you bring your own guys in, they're kind of getting your message out inside the room where you're not there, so to speak? Is there a similar element where these guys kind of, they deliver what his expectations are to some of the other guys in the room, his standard or whatever?
Yeah, it's all of it. I think the best way I can put it is sometimes when something new is being presented, it can sound like a foreign language. And so having another voice who knows, from a receiver standpoint, I'll try to picture this best we can. You're teaching something, but receivers might be receiving that thing a little bit differently. And so a guy like Randall and Allen could say, hey, this is what he means in receiver language. And it's like, oh, okay. And it's unique because it's player-to-player conversation, and those moments are very powerful. They're sometimes more powerful than coaching. So it's a really good thing to have them around. And but the cool thing is they stand for the right stuff, and they've got tremendous internal drive and all that good stuff. So it's really good that they're here.
You guys rotating the centers with Connor and West, kind of getting some equal run there with the ones. How would you sum up that position, and is this something where also you expect the rookie to get involved there a little bit as well with Timmon?
Yeah, it's going to be an ongoing battle. It's going to go all the way at least through Carolina. It'll be really good to see a couple of see how they play within those inter squad scrimmages, the practices. Both Tampa and Carolina have tremendous D lines, so it's going to be a good opportunity for all of them. And so it's something that we're just going to continue watching throughout training camp.
Will you see Timmon with the starters too? Like, will he get a chance to run with the ones out there?
We'll see. So he's got to earn it, but we definitely got to see if he can hold up in there.
Robert, when you're evaluating a center, is there a such thing as chemistry with the quarterback? And does he have to have a rapport with Aaron?
I think it's more. I think so. In terms of just the amount of communication and setting the mic and run game and all the communication all starts from the quarterback and center. And the more he's capable of, the less the quarterback has to think of. And so there's definitely a learning curve.
For Mekhi, is there any thought process to putting him as well up with the ones, or kind of just trying to ease him back to this point?
Mekhi's had back-to-back really good practices in that he's been able to finish all the way through, and he's getting stronger on that knee, and I think he's getting more confidence in it. And the big thing for him is to rather than rush to be a first-teamer, let's rush to see us get through a game and just have that ability to get through a game or a practice or a week. There's no denying his talent, so right now it's just about building confidence, building strength, building the endurance, and once all that comes, then we'll take that next step of, all right, let's see how he can perform with the ones and all that. So, but right now it's all about gaining strength and confidence in that knee and being able to get through an entire practice, which he's been able to stack them up, and so really pumped for him in that regard. He's definitely getting stronger, so excited. We got a long way to go for Mekhi, but he's taking the right steps.
Do you see him on a limited pitch count Thursday night?
For sure.
Robert, have you done an apology from Sean Payton?
Sean,
Sean, has he reached out at all?
whether he calls or not, I'm going to leave that between me and him. Appreciate it. What's that?
Any more cool lyrics?
I just sent my wife that song. She's hating on me a little bit ago.
How challenging is it for the defensive line every day against Rodgers with his cadence and when he goes to a quick game?
You know what? I think it's hard on the O-line too, because you see a lot of offsides, a lot of pre-snap penalties right now. I'll be honest, standing back there and just listening, I jump every play. It's a pretty advanced cadence, and I've even talked to Coach LaFleur about it in Green Bay, and he said, "Man, it's tough. Like and he was just talking about it. It is a pretty unique deal for him. A lot of guys are learning. We're straining to learn it, and oh look, she must be watching. She's calling. But no, it's an advanced cadence system, and so he's straining both sides of the ball.
Couple more? No more? With Will McDonald, it seems like the Jets' first-round pick, most first-round picks, really, so much spotlight on them at this time of year. With Aaron here and Super Bowl talk and everything, seems like he's flying under the radar more than most first-round picks. Will McDonald.
Oh yeah,
Is that a good thing for a rookie to not have that intense spotlight on the first?
For sure. I'll equate it to Jermaine. Knock on wood, we've got as deep as the D-line group as you can have in ball. Really good group of talented guys, and so you look at a guy. The D-line is always one of the hardest, aside from the quarterback. D-line, I'll argue, is probably one of the harder positions to produce within your first year. It's just hard, and it's always good when you can fly under the radar and have the season he had, and it was a good season. Don't get me wrong, but the pressure of production that comes with being a top 10 pick or a first-round pick, he didn't have that. He could just sit back, learn, and do the things he did, and a lot of the things he did was very good. And I think he knows he has a lot more, and he wants more, and I think that's why he's taking the steps necessary in this offseason to go get more. And talking about Jermaine. As for Will, kind of in that same boat, he's got a chance to go find himself, figure out who he is, learn some new techniques. I'll say it again, his athleticism is freakish. It is freakish. I don't know if I've seen much. I'm not going to put names on him. I don't want to compare him to the people I'm thinking of. But he's got a tremendous amount of ability in him. He's got to learn some things, but to be able to do it on his time is always a plus.
What makes it so difficult for a defensive end as a rookie to come in and produce?
Well, it's different. Your athleticism is not enough because now you're playing a game within a game. You're playing these tackles. Every single one of them was All-American. Every single one of them can move just as quickly as you can. They're all just like they're walls. They're so freaking strong. Talking about O-linemen. And along with the game, within the game that's being played with regards to hand usage and pass rush and giving edges and all that stuff. And so you just got to learn a whole new style. You can't just, when he was in college, he'd win off the edge. Okay, tackle's overset, I'm going to win underneath. Well, tackles can do that, can do both. Now they can take care of both. They can handle everything you throw at them. So it's a completely different game in there. And it's, like I said, it's a game within a game.
What are you seeing from Zach? I know part of the plan was that he would learn from Aaron, benefit, maturation with speed. Are you seeing that so far?
Yeah. What's cool about Zach, it's interesting, and I want to be careful with my wording here because it's not a knock on anything that was done in the past. It's just for Zach, I feel like he's very confident right now. Like he's gaining confidence, and not necessarily in his ability and to go out there and play. I'm just in his decision making and what he's doing, playing and play out. I just feel that from him. You can see it in his just how decisive he is with the football in his hands. And now it's not where we know where we think he can get, but he definitely looks confident. He looks comfortable, and he's definitely moving in the right direction.
Are you saying that it's because of Aaron and what he's teaching?
Yeah,
Or
for
just
sure.
because
No,
the
it's.
pressure's off a little bit more and
It could be a little bit of everything. For sure it could be. I don't want to discredit anything, but just with Aaron, like I said, a position player in your group, a player to player can decode the foreign language that coaches speak sometimes. And so just being able to have that where Aaron is so locked into the scheme, Hackett doesn't have to explain everything. Aaron can do it on the side and explain it in his language on what he's feeling, because at the end of the day, that's the player who's feeling all the bullets. he's taking them all. He's the one feeling everything. So when he's speaking to Zach, I think the weight is it's being made clear to him.
Oh, good.
We saw Corey out there, and then he went back in. Is he still kind of?
Yeah, I hopefully we get him back tomorrow. He after the couple of days, we wanted to get him some conditioning and get him out there, let him sweat a little bit, but we're in no hurry to get him back out.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes, thank you.